Here we go, live internet. How are you? I'm Chase Jarvis. I'm coming at you from the middle of Manhattan. I don't know if you can see the Empire State Building right behind me. The last 72 hours have been incredibly crazy and exciting for me, and I wish you could see what it looks like on the other side of the cameras, where it's full-on gangster style here, like the way we like to roll. I'm very, very grateful for you tuning in today. I'm not going to be incredibly articulate. I don't have any other guests, but I do have something really, really exciting to share. And the gist of it has been in the works for about 6 months, actually. And gosh, I'm going to just kind of let it flow, and then I'm hoping to take questions per normal Chase Jarvis lives over the old the internet's here at my Twitter handle at Chase Jarvis with the hashtag CJLive. So anytime I say something and you don't know what the answer is, or you want to find me, you want me to explain myself a little more, I'm happy to do so here. Now, without further ado, God, it feels good to be outside. I love it. I've been working with some close friends at the Ace Hotel and working with my crew to try and put together a project that was really meaningful to me, and I wanted it to be a fine art project. And what we've come up with is something I think you'll dig. The name of the project is called Dasein, an invitation to hang. Dasein is a term that was used by a German philosopher named Heidegger, and he used that to talk about being in the world, being there. Many of you may not know this, but my background is in the philosophy of art, so this was something that's been on my mind for more than a decade. When I think about being there, I feel like the most adequate or accurate way that we can be in the world through photography is through the snapshot. Many of you know that my work with the best camera, and the best camera is the one that's with you, was largely about creative empowerment and what it meant for me. It was a visual journal for me to walk around the world snapping pictures, and that really moved me. That moved me, the fact that we all had cameras on us, or that at first at least it was just me who had a camera on him, and it was using it as a camera, as a visual journal to my life. That chapter, the best camera is the one that's with you, is still firmly rooted in my past, but it's in my past, and what I want to do now is celebrate not the devices and not the idea that we're all creatively empowered and any of that, but celebrate the idea of the snapshot. The snapshot to me is perhaps the most powerful image in photography. And I know that's going to sound strange given we have amazing, talented people all over the world creating beautiful, perfected and well-intended and images that a lot of work goes into. I have a huge respect for that and a huge appreciation. But one thing has become clear to me, and that the snapshot has taken on a new, weight in our culture because of the fact that their pictures are everywhere. The fact that pictures are everywhere means that we've kind of become numb to them, but at the same time, it is telling a story that we have been unable to tell until now. Snapshots, moments, skinned knees, sitting on the beach with a friend, sharing a hot dog. The one-off moments, the ones that aren't going to happen again, they remind us in many ways about our lives, but also that our lives are finite. And to me, the snapshot has really grown to become this as I've been studying it and living with them. As a professional photographer, I get to travel all over the world with some of the world's best crew, and a huge crew sometimes, and go to the amazing places on somebody else's dime to make images, and I get to use almost any kind of equipment. ironically, the kinds of pictures that are the most meaningful for me personally are photographs that are in and of my life, ones of friends and family, and ones of walking down the middle of the street here on Broadway in New York, where I magically catch a fleeting moment. I'm aiming to celebrate those with this project. So now let me get the theoretical philosophical thing and put that on hold just for a second and get to the nuts and bolts. So you got that I'm celebrating the snapshot. I want you to join in that celebration with me, and here's how. Thanks to some friends of mine at the Ace Hotel here in New York, it's legendary. There probably isn't a more interesting 4,000 square feet in the city right now than their lobby. My friends here at the Ace Hotel have invited me to do an artist in residency. And an artist in residency basically is where you live somewhere and you make art for a month straight. So I'm going to be living at the Ace for the next month and actually living out my dream, which is to just take pictures and have no commercial work, have nothing else bothering me. It's going to be purely focused on making pictures. At the same time, I would love for you to be doing this study with me from wherever it is in the world that you are. You don't have to do it as intensely as I'm going to do it. You can engage it really casually or with the same vigor that I'll be moving towards making good pictures. And these are not commercial pictures. Again, these are snapshots. Now there's two ways specifically that you can come party with us here at the Ace Hotel. One is digitally. Given that the name of the project is called Dasein, remember that's Heidegger's term for being there, being present, an invitation to hang, I'm inviting you to hang with me in one way, digitally, and another way, physically. Digitally, the way you can hang with me is by submitting your work, as much work as you like. I would hope it's good work, it's good snapshots, they're beautiful fleeting moments. Submit those to invitationtohang.com. Now, hopefully you'll stay focused on me for a second, not go to the other website, but as soon as I'm done, you can begin uploading your work there at invitationtohang.com. That is a Tumblr site where you just click the submit button right there. It'll allow you to upload your image. We're going to see those images. It's my hope that those images come in from all over the world by bucket loads. I'm personally going to look at, remember I got a month to do this, so I'm personally going to look at every image that comes through and curate a selection of those images. Now if you send me, junk pictures or pictures of unrecognizable pictures or any naughty pictures, especially not naughty pictures, we won't post those. But you're going to look at the digital feed as often as you like. You're going to be able to submit to it, and every day we're going to repopulate that picture, so it's going to be changing and transient, just like the snapshot is. Now from that digital stream of images, all your submissions, I'm going to mix those submissions with my submissions and then hang them physically in the gallery space here at the Ace Hotel. My crew's been busy for the past, 72 hours doing a hell of a lot of work to get that space ready. We have space to display several hundred pictures. You send in your pictures, I will print them on a small Polaroid zinc paper and hang them in this gallery, commingled with images from me, images from these guys here on the crew, images from the people of New York, and your pictures that you submit there. So again, there's a digital version of this thing, and then there's a physical version. I'm going to take those pictures that come in digitally, grab my favorites, print them, and hang them in this gallery exhibition. One of the several things I think are interesting about this, and I hope you'll join me in thinking so. For one, the images that are going to be presented on that are going to be hung physically, they're going to be completely anonymous. And it's my hope that your images will hang right next to my images, will hang right next to I'm going to tap some very famous friends of mine to contribute to the project as well. I'm hoping I'll probably do some videos and maybe call out some of the people that I'm hoping will contribute. But what you should know is some of the best photographers in the world have agreed to contribute already. So it's going to be their work, my work, and your work hanging all together in the same gallery anonymously. We're all going to own it, and yet no one's going to own it at the same time. This is going to go on for the next 30 days in a complete celebration of the snapshot. Keep in mind that what's going to give this power is you sharing this idea with your friends. Because if it's just, say, all y'all who are listening today and me, then I mean, that's a lot of people probably, but it's not as deep as we want to tap into this project. We want to see pictures from everywhere around the globe. And in order for the statement to be made, to the artistic statements that I'm trying to make, to be as profound as I want them to be, I think it's incumbent on me, of course, but also you to tell your friends and encourage them to participate. There's probably a lot of questions. There also is going to be a culminating celebration. I'll tell you more about that when we get more information. But for now, your task, if you're willing to participate and submit at invitationtohang.com, is really to get involved. And I want to see your work. More importantly, the world and especially New York City here wants to see your work. I'm hoping that this can put a stick in the ground as a new type of collaborative project. So let me get a glass of water because it's about 150 degrees on here on this deck here, and I've been talking nonstop for a long time, and I'm kind of shouting because it's loud up here. So bear with me. Whew. So what do you guys think? You think that's kind of cool, or I think I've just signed myself up for 30 20-hour days. I know my staff, Eric and Scott and D'Artagnan, who are here, they're signing up for a lot of work. But you know what? We're deeply committed to this idea. I'm overjoyed about having a month to shoot, and I hope very much that you'll join me in doing so. Remember, the more people we can get, the better. I'm going to go to the phones right now if I can. Let's see. Hey, Scotty. Can I hand you this thing? Because it's not, my paw got all over it, so it's not giving me the feed that I want. I'll just get it off my phone. So I'm going to go to Twitter right now and pull up a question and see if I can help you answer it. Also, by the time this broadcast is over, you'll be able to go to my blog. There's a little video there that should give you some more instructions on how to contribute, if what I'm saying here isn't clear. But more importantly, there is my manifesto for this project. And the manifesto is basically what I've been writing over the course of the past several months, my belief in the snapshot, how it fits into popular culture, how it fits into the art culture, and what it actually means. I encourage you to read that. If you're gonna submit pictures, read it. I want you to know what it is that you're contributing to. And I want you to understand the ethos behind what it is and more importantly, why. Between now and then, and I'm talking to you if you have a camera, and if I'm not talking to only the most creative people that you know, I'm not talking to the most famous people you know, I'm trying to mix snapshots with reality, famous people's work with people who are not famous work. I'm trying to throw all that in a blender in the name of the image. So that was one of the first questions that I saw here. Do you have to be a professional? No, you don't. Sherry Innes asks, all types of photos or just snapshots? I want all types of photos, but specifically the ones that were made in the snapshot style. And the snapshot style that I'm talking about is one where you walked up, you sized up the picture, and you took it, rather than something you spent days or weeks or months creating. Those are nice pictures, but they're not really the snapshots. Now, I'm also not necessarily, like, a lot of this was born with what I see coming out of Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. There's 3 or 4 billion pictures a month getting uploaded there. Some of them are horrible, but some of them in that snapshot style are beautiful. They are moments that are fleeting, and even if it's a picture of your buddy with a 12-pack on his head, like, that moment will never happen again. And if you look at that image alone, it might not have that much artistic weight. It may. What if your friend passes away shortly thereafter, or the beer stops being manufactured? Then it's got some significance, some historical, some cultural significance. So the point is, you never really know, but especially when you start to look at these images as an aggregate, you get a fabric develops, a social fabric made of images. That's the kind of image that I'm looking for, Sherry. So it doesn't have to be something that you only compose for 1/10 of a second on your iPhone. I'm walking around New York with some great cameras, a lot of the Polaroids, the Polaroid 600 SE that you saw on my last live broadcast. I'm using every kind of camera and tons of different mediums, so don't restrict yourself. But what I'm trying to avoid is the most perfect photograph that spent you, days, weeks, or months trying to make it. Hopefully that outlines it enough. But great question, Sherry. Trishiag, Trishiag, says, how many photos can an individual submit? You can submit as many photos as you'd like. I want to see what you think are good photos, though, good snapshot photos, because that saves me from being burdened with. I'm already going to be underwater with pictures, but I have chosen that as something that is interesting and important for me in my life. So I'm not worried about the volume, as long as you guys are doing a good job of curating what it is that you send. So yeah, there's no limit to pictures, but try and send in the ones that you think are best and meet my artistic statement that you should read if you haven't yet. It's up on the blog now, I believe. If I'm starting to bore you, you might want to click over there. But as I continue to answer questions, I hope that answered yours, Trish. She also asked, will we be notified if our photo is chosen? We're working on that mechanism right now. This has been very much ready, aim, fire, despite the fact that it's been underway for the last 6 months. So your photo is chosen, even if it's in the digital feed. Digital feed images, they get screened. I don't want pictures of, unsavory pictures. I'll just leave it at that. So they are screened once, and if your pictures show up on that digital stream, the Tumblr site there at invitationtohang.com, they're in the exhibition. Whether or not they make it to print is a whole nother thing. And again, it's important for me to keep that anonymous in the gallery space, but we'll work on a mechanism of whether or not we can notify you if you actually had your image printed. It may or may not add gravity to the situation. Of course, I understand that. So we're working on it, but great question. I'm just blown away at how many questions are coming in here. This is impressive. Let's see. Oh, Scott, I did it again. There we go. CJ Live. All right. Where can I get that rad shirt? Josh Rodriguez. This is a shirt from the band The XX, and if you can still find them, yeah, you can get them. It's a great band, and they probably sell them online. Sorry, I just had to answer that because I like this shirt too. Wow. Behind the Live has a great question. What do you guys think? What do you think, Chase, about people setting up local galleries in honor of the project globally? I encourage you to do whatever you want with the project. That would be then your project, though. Someone in each city has to become responsible for that. But I would hope that you would submit those photos. I don't want to segment the project, so to speak. I want to aggregate the project. And if you want to duplicate this experience in as many cities around the world as you want, go right ahead, Susan, by all means. Just make sure that you're sending your digital files here and that you can participate in the global center of this project, which is here in New York for this month. Great question. I totally encourage you to make it what you can. Go crazy with it. Daphnecton, Daphnechn asks, what makes a good snapshot? I want you to show me what makes a good snapshot. This is a study, an artist in residence is a study of work, and I'm studying the snapshot here. I'm hoping to, when I leave this artist in residency, that I will have a better idea what a snapshot is, and there's no better way to learn than to look at a million of them. But off the tip of my tongue, they're moments that were unexpected. They are sometimes very, very commonplace things. Just a picture of your cereal bowl, for example, can be a beautiful snapshot if there's some magical special sauce in there. I'm hoping that you'll tell me what a beautiful one is over time. Will there be, Dave6163 asks, will there be a virtual gallery that is updated? Yes, the virtual gallery is updated every single day. Every day. And however many new pictures we can put in that virtual gallery will depend on the support that we have here at the ACE, but which is a good thing. Let me put that on pause for a second. We will be asking for volunteers here in New York to help us manage this. There's no way we can do it. We have a really talented, robust team, but we're gonna need some support from you, the community. So if you're interested in supporting this project, in volunteering in some way, shape, or form, then please email production@ChaseJarvis.com, and we'll coordinate working with a series of volunteers. We're gonna need people, we're gonna need help printing, we're gonna need help hanging, and it's at all hours. So if you're in New York and you can, in and around New York, and you can lend me a hand, send that email over. So let's see, where are we at? Let's see. Hey Scotty, can you come fix this? I can't see this very well here.
What happened?
Just keep clicking off of my particular account. I'm using D'Artagnan's iPad right now, so.
Hop onto, when that goes down, hop onto search.
Got it.
And then there should be a save.
I'll go to my phone. But I hope you guys aren't, again, we're broadcasting from a place where you shouldn't be broadcasting from. It's not from the comforts of our studio, the garage there in Wallingford, or not in Wallingford, in South Lake Union. So again, we're a little bit running gangster style here with a stripped down crew. But going back to the phones here. Jamie Pacquiao. Yes, I hope this is something special for your summer, man. I want to see a lot of pictures from you. Let's go down here. Oh, I thought of another thing. With regard to the celebration at the end of the month, I'm not quite sure how that's going to work either, but I've got 30 days to figure it out. My hope is that you'll watch this space, watch the blog. I'm going to be putting one of my pictures there, I think every day is the plan. In addition to all the regular content that you guys get at the blog, I'm going to try and deliver a picture a day or more. Sometimes pictures from you, sometimes pictures from me. That's something that's kind of getting worked out on the fly, but paying attention to my Twitter feed at ChaseJarvis, what do you call it? Oh, my Facebook page, facebook.com/ChaseJarvis. You can get info and stay updated on the project. Let's figure that thing out, Scotty?
Yeah.
Send it on in here, bro. There we go.
It breaks down again. Search button, save search.
Got it. How about, can you just do the @ChaseJarvis still too, or so that it's not just the hashtag?
Mm-hmm.
I'll figure that out. What the heck? So, Ob Studios Texas says, what do you mean by if you want to be involved in the project? Maybe you tuned in late. If you did, I'll give you the short version. I'm doing an artist in residency here at the Ace Hotel in New York City. I will be creating snapshot pictures, studying the snapshot, creating pictures of all kinds. Frankly, I'm going to be shooting a lot of fancy portraits while I'm here too, but I'm going to be studying the snapshot and hanging those physically in a gallery space here at the Ace Hotel. If you want to participate, you can go to invitationtohang.com, submit your snapshots. They'll come into the digital part of the exhibition, and then if I curate them, then they become if I curate them and select them, then they come into the physical installation. Read more on the blog. I think it's up there. If it's not up there right now, I set it to auto-publish, but if not, I'll go down and hit send or hit publish right at the end of this this broadcast. Back to the phones. Kathy Walters Kathy Walters Foe asks a good question. What format? What orientation? In order to have the format remain the same, and thanks hugely to Polaroid. Basically, Polaroid's given me a fleet of the Pola printer. They're not out yet. They'll be announced in the next couple of weeks. But I have a fleet of them, and what they all do is they print out on a formatted piece of paper. So they automatically take an image of any format. Sometimes it'll be square or whatever. They're not changing the dimensions. They're not changing the aspect. and it'll just fit on a small Polaroid size piece of film, that zinc film. So I'll have a fleet of those. They'll be running basically around the clock, printing images that we curate from that digital feed. So don't worry about the format of your picture. Don't worry about the aspect ratio. It might render differently. If you want to have maximum coverage, it'll probably be a square or a short rectangle. But we'll take care of that on our end. And again, all the images are going to be printed at about this size. Another side little tangent is if you are in and around New York, drop into the Ace Hotel. It's at 29th and Broadway, and stick your nose in the gallery. I'd love to, right now it's bare naked, just sitting there waiting to be filled with pictures, and we'll start that process tomorrow. But feel free to come in. Our intention is to leave a Polaroid camera tethered to the bench there in the middle of the gallery space for you to take your own picture, take a picture of something interesting, and be able to leave that there. There's going to be a position where you can clip your own photos in there, and then we'll work those into the exhibition. Alternatively, if you're in the Ace having a cocktail, there's a photo booth there, and if you want to have a strip of photos from that photo booth, you can do the same thing. You can, once the strip of photos come out, you can go in there and clip those to the wall, and then we will work them into the main exhibition, and that'll all be clear to you when you walk into the space. So if you're local, stop in and say hey. I also, at some point, will be holding, we haven't decided if they're called office hours or cocktail hour or whatever it is, but for the next month that I am here in New York, I want to meet an amazing cross-section of this city. So I'll be inviting, at select times, groups of people to drop in and talk shop and go get a beer or whatever here at the Ace. So keep an eye on the Twitter feed for that one. The Jazz Devil says, "Does anyone give me a lift to NYC right now?" Jim Malcolm asks, "What file resolution? If printed, what size will you print?" I hope that answered your question, Jim. It's going to be small, and these photographs do really, really well. What's that? What's that? It's 3x4 is the format of the paper if you want to actually fill the image up. That's the size, but don't be restricted by that. It's okay if you got a little extra border on the paper there. What's up, D? Yeah, from the types of files that we want to take, my technical homies over there are telling me we prefer JPEGs and GIFs. The Polar printers specifically from Polaroid, again, it's not out yet. It's going to be out in a couple weeks, and I can't wait to share it with you. But it does a great job of rendering images, so you don't have to send a giant file. Again, images aren't about megapixels and dynamic range. They're about moments and stories, so don't feel like you have to send the most perfect file. And I should also say, if you are a control freak and you're really concerned with how your images are presented, this exhibition, this project might not be for you. We can't take custom instructions. We can't. Unfortunately, we're going to get so many. We can't hold individual hands. So that's a little bit of a bummer because I would like to be able to include everyone. But the control freaks, this might not be for you. If you can let it go and participate in this project, I would hope that you would think it was worth it. So, but that's your call entirely. Yeah. Okay. M. Montararo says, "Chase, can you talk about copyright and license? Other than the web gallery, will they be used anywhere else?" Now, in order to submit, since we're using the Tumblr platform, we couldn't afford to take the time and the money to make our custom platform. You just agree to the Tumblr terms and conditions. What they do with it, I have no idea. What I know that what our plan, there's a little blurb right above submit that says exactly what our intentions are doing. This is not a commercial project in any way, shape, or form. When you submit to this is going to be a living gallery of images digitally, and we're going to shut that down at the end of this project, and it's going to be a beautiful record of who submitted and what was submitted. That's all it's going to. That's the only place it's going to go there. From the physical installation, these images are not going to be sold. These images are not going to be bartered. Perhaps they will be installed at a later date, but it's a hope. I don't know how many pictures we're going to get, so there's a certain trust. You just know that as a professional photographer who's advocated for rights my entire life, I'm not going to blow that for you. And if you're ever concerned with it, either don't submit or think a little more hard about it. I know a lot of people are concerned with social media sites saying they have all your rights, like Facebook, for example. And if that is something that is really a concern to you and it's perfectly acceptable to, that, I don't know specifically what Tumblr's T&C are, but if it's similar in any way and that makes you uncomfortable, don't participate. Again, Tumblr is in huge support of this. We've been talking with those folks. They love the fact that we're doing this. I don't believe that there's going to be any malicious activity on their part whatsoever, and you certainly aren't going to get any from me. So I appreciate you asking the question. I hope I answered it. We can have we can continue to talk about that a little more if you want to. I can't see. Oh, we're 30 minutes in, is what Scott says. Okay, so I'll probably shut this thing down pretty quick. Maybe I'll take a few more questions and then let you guys get to doing what you do best, which is make pictures. All right, love seeing that people are already uploading pictures. That's great. Clifton J. Roberts asks a great question. Do these images need to be fresh, or can they be from archives? They can absolutely be from archives. I want to see pictures. I don't care when they were made. I would love to know that the world is studying the snapshot at the same time that I am, so I think you should consider studying the snapshot at the same time. But if you've got some great work that you want to submit, I would love to have it be a part of the project. It would be an honor, really. So it doesn't have to be work that starts from today. It can be work that's been in place. J. Rose Photog says, do we go to invitationtohang.com to see everyone's images or your blog? I think the record of the images that are coming in digitally are going to be invitationtohang.com. I will definitely have a selected group of images on display at my blog. Excuse me, I believe every day. So it's best to go back and forth. If you want to see some images that I really like, you're going to need to come to the blog every day. And again, that's going to be interspersed with the normal content that you see, the videos that we put out, the stuff, the photographers that I highlight outside of the work that I do. So you're going to get all that content too, but just a whole bunch more now. And I'd love to hear if that works for you. Like, this is something that I'm interested in continuing. That is the sharing of individual images rather than just blog posts. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Some of you are chiming in apparently late. The Truths just said, what resolution? Don't worry about the resolution. iPhone resolution is fine. Mobile phone resolution is fine. Just a couple megapixels. 72 dpi. Again, the images aren't going to be larger than 3x4. Over the course of the project, you'll get to see videos and stuff and photographs of the actual installation space, so you'll start to feel it. But you don't have to send us big files. Don't send us big TIFFs. Keep them JPEGs and GIFs if you would. That'll make it easier on our computers. Looks like a lot of New York trips are starting to be planned here. I'm seeing via Twitter, which is really inspiring. This is such an amazing city, and I'm honored to be shacked up here. Perhaps long term. I think this might turn into something long term, and I don't want to make any statements that might get misinterpreted. But I've always loved it here in New York, and I've been coming here for years. And boy, the love affair just got a bunch deeper. So, all right. I'm going to try and maybe wrap it up again here. What's my policy on watermarks? Ben Guzman asks. I'm sort of against them in this instance. I want you, however, to be able to protect the pictures in whatever way you want. But if there's a big watermark on the picture and I'm trying to make a fine art exhibit that's anonymous, it's probably not going to make the cut. I don't want you to put your name on the picture. What we're trying to do is say, we're making statements about a new era of art, like a social art where art is at once individuals and both the individual and collective at once. So and if the image is really, really amazing and it's got your name on it, that might burst that bubble I've got. But I really don't want to see names and faces. Again, I want to have some of the most amazing photographers of our time who I've personally contacted and said they're going to contribute. I'll share their names over time and let you know whose work you're hanging next to. But that's only to hopefully inspire you to contribute and to realize the power of what it is that we're doing, not for any individual recognition. It's my hope that any one of you can say that you are participating in this thing just by submitting digitally. Of course, there's that other level of physical, and we'll work on trying to identify those folks, although that's a challenge. But again, try and think of it in a slightly different term than you are. Let's see. What about edits? T-E-H Sean asks, what about edits, Chase, i.e. color correction, HDR, whatever you want. Make them beautiful, make them interesting, make them a snapshot. If you want to do some post-production afterwards, I don't care. Just send me the file. Send it the digital installation, and I'll pull it out into the physical if we think it adds to what it is that we're creating here physically at the ACE. You think it's time to wrap up, guys, or should I keep firing off? The questions just keep coming, but maybe if you're dropping off of the feed here, I don't blame you. Go over to the blog. There's a little video there that talks a little bit, it's kind of a 1-minute synopsis of what I've been saying here. Eric whipped that thing together yesterday in just a couple of hours. Hopefully it answers more questions than it asks. And there's also a little short version of what it is that we're doing, but I encourage you to read the manifesto. It's by no means finished. It is just the thing that helped me crystallize this idea to share with the world. Let's see here. Yes, so again, can you wrap your session with a recap of the project for those that joined late? I think a recap is best suited by you going to the blog. In the meantime, I'm going to try and, God, the questions just keep pouring in. Thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful for you guys paying attention to the live broadcast and asking these questions. I didn't know what questions you might have, so this is the most natural way to help you stay informed. What about, Zen Photography asks, what about iPhone and cell phone photos? Will there be an app for that? We are considering pulling images from the Best Camera website. So if you have an iPhone and you use Best Camera app, we may ask you to tag, when it's in the actual website, you can go in there and tag whatever it is that you want. And we may search there for tags. We haven't built that into the system yet. Again, we've got 30 days to realize the extent of this project. But that would be, for those of you that are Best Camera users, go to thebestcamera.com once you submit your images there and tag it with invitation to hang, and we can find it there. There may be others that emerge. You ask about an app, for example. There may be others that emerge through the course of the next 30 days. If you guys have ideas to make this richer and bigger, please submit those ideas. Send them to production@ChaseJarvis.com. Also, remember where else you're sending to production@ChaseJarvis.com? What is it? If you want to volunteer. Exactly. We are going to be overworked for sure. So bear with us as we're going to try and organize that little workforce here in New York. But if you want to do something on your own outside this, if you want to make an app, again, I'm all for it. Let's see where this project goes. I'm interested personally in that exercising that manifesto that I wrote, my artist statement, and exploring the snapshot and what role it plays. It's snuck up on us, you guys. It's some of the most meaningful work in the world right now, I believe. That's what my goal is. But if you guys have other goals, let's let the project grow. Someone asks if I need a volunteer for tomorrow night to have drinks with me. Who was that? Oh, that wasn't with drinks with me. That was Max at Maxial. In the Blend asks a question. How is this different than randomly flicking through Flickr? Did I miss something? Sure. Here's what you missed. You missed the power of intention. Intention is a thing in art. Now, I'm not just curating existing photos. I'm asking you to participate. This dialogue right here is a meta layer on top of the fact that you're out there taking pictures. I'm out there taking pictures. So it's a collaborative, started now, has a duration, and ends. It's a project. Flickr is just a pile of a bunch of pictures that anyone can go through and curate. Very, very different. Intention, curation, given focus with the snapshot and how it fits into Dasein and the spirit of our times, and it's It's only going to go for a month. So I hope that helps you understand from a theoretical, artistic reason why it's very different. Model and property releases. Good question. Since this is a fine art exhibit, I don't have a definitive answer on that. I think it has to just line up with the T&C that Tumblr and from our little blurb and Tumblr. So I would encourage you to have a release because that's just smart. But again, I'm not the legal person. Read the legalese on the website. Let's see. Again, if you have any concerns about the legal use of these pictures, don't participate. This is not going to be a position that I'm going to find myself in adjudicating any of this. If you're uncomfortable with it, don't do the project. If you're comfortable contributing to this project, knowing my use and the digital version and the physical version, then that's great. And if you have concerns beyond that, we'll do our best to continue to answer them through time. But if you're already concerned about it, I would encourage you to not participate. And not because I don't want you to do something you don't want to do. I believe that what will come out of this is good. Okay. Whew. I think we're going to kind of shut her down there. Yeah, 30 days. Start going. There's some people that I would love to thank if you got just a second. My trusty, you should see what I'm looking at right now, you guys. It's beautiful. There's just this air conditioning. I know, actually, that's a good idea. I'm gonna take a picture right now. All you gangsters smile. D'Artagnan's back there using the air conditioning as his desk. Hey everybody, squeeze in a little bit. Squeeze in a little bit, D. This is good. This is historic. This will be one of the first snapshots. I can't see it either. You are. 3, 2, 1. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. All right, I do want to send some thanks out. Of course, Polaroid, they've been supplying us personally with film and cameras for me to do my study here. The Ace Hotel has been incredibly wonderful to work with. They have a beautiful brand. They've done so many good things for the hospitality world and for popular culture in general. I love those guys. Thank you. B&H has been supportive with film and equipment. Kessler Crane, the beautiful kind of gliding shots that you see here on this jib was provided. We called Kessler yesterday, and these guys came out and are doing us a huge favor. We just thought it'd be a neat little spice to add into the mix. We normally have one of those things back at our studio, and to be able to do it up here with the old Empire State Building was pretty wicked. So I want to thank Next Level Pictures, Khalid and your team. Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Kessler, B&H, Polaroid Ace, grateful to you guys. This picture is going to be wicked. Without further ado, you guys, I'm going to sign off. There is a lot more information on the blog. I hit auto publish. If it's not up there now, then I'm going to have to go down there and hit send. I'm not very good at doing that. I always miss one little checkbox somewhere. But signing off from New York City, thank you so much for tuning into this. Remember, this whole project will only be a success with you and with your network. So please tell the world I'm looking forward to seeing your pictures. And now I'm going to go get a bottle of water because it is super hot. Thank you very much. Signing off.
Thank you for joining us at Chase Jarvis Live. To interact with the full broadcast of the show, you gotta watch it live. To find out about the next broadcast, follow ChaseJarvis.com/blog. Get connected, get involved. Shouts to Victor Shea for providing the music you're hearing right now. I'm Tilson. Till next time, make a wish.